Hey guys, in this video I'll be going over every 5-star in Honkai star role and naming one thing wrong. If you haven't already, check out the Genshin Impact version. Sealy. Unlike modern hunt units, her burst only has a single instance of damage that can ruin runs if you don't crit. Well, his skill only bounces 3 times despite the damage being low and the debuff not the best. Himiko. Despite relying on weakness break, she has nothing in her kit to buff break effect. Clara. Her burst will just completely go away if she takes too many turns, making synergies with characters like Robin and other action advance units potentially frustrating. Japard wants to kill himself, but also wants to stack defense so he can't kill himself. Bronya. A lot of basic attack buffs for an action advance unit who needs to spam her skill. Bailu. Her skill bounces randomly and will heal a person already full of health, sometimes even twice. Yanqing. Getting touched once will neuter his damage, while not getting touched has little payoff. Luocha. Skills on attack, thus lowering his survivability for no goddamn reason. Hoyo did a pretty good job reworking these next characters, but won't stop me. Silverwolf. She cannot stack her weakness implant, making dual DPSs or even a sub DPS much weaker. Kafka. Dots procced by Kafka do not deal its full amount of damage. Don't be cowards, Hoyoverse. Go big or go home. Blade. Basically a counter unit, but has to get damaged 5 times instead of just once. Fuxuan. Her trace wants her to use her skill when her skill is already active. She also got support gapped by Hyacinth. Imbiber Dongheng. Despite having the most dogshit traces I've ever seen, I'll point out that he only obtains 2 skill charges from his ultimate, despite needing 3 for max damage. Even taunt you by saying it can hold 3. Topaz and Numbi. Proof of debt can be applied to a completely random enemy besides an elite or a boss. Jingliu. You can't enter her spectral transmigration state while already in her spectral transmigration state, rendering her unplayable. But seriously, her Sigzy's uptime is pretty tricky and sometimes reliant on Hyacinth and her light cone. For now. Argenti. Lots of energy regeneration traces, but still needs energy regenerating units. Huohuo. For an abundance unit, her healing capabilities can be easily overwhelmed. Dr. Ratio. The wise man's folly that he applies from his ultimate is not a debuff and won't contribute to his talent's effect. Ronmei. I know it's in hindsight, but her break effect buffs are wasted on standard teams, and their damage buff effect is useless on break teams. Sparkle. Ult gives 4 skill points, but needs 3 skill points for ult. Ironically, she works best with DPSs that can generate their own additional skill points, like Archer and Dongheng. Black Swan. Her kit baits you into saying it can stack up to 50 times, but that's virtually impossible outside a simulated universe. Unless Hyacinth changes things, let me know in the comments. Aventurine. The 50% effect res from his shield is trash in endgame content, and most enemies can bypass it. Acheron. She doesn't get extra stacks even if her teammates apply multiple debuffs in one hit, unless you have her light cone. Boothill. Has really good crit trace, but is better when more break focused. Robin. Most of the time, she needs to use her skill even when she has full charges, which wouldn't be an issue if the skill didn't just reapply the same buff your team already had. Jade. No skill turn indicator, making it easy to miss reapplying the buff and skill point allocation if you're not paying attention. They fixed this with Hunt March. Firefly. Skill doesn't generate any energy in her ult, forcing her to burn skill points to enter her ult to spam even more skill points. Jiao Qi. Despite being a wartime medic and doctor, he doesn't heal. Not even a little, completely ruining his sustainless team fantasy everyone saw for Acheron. Yunli. Inuite Slash will attack random enemies with no prioritization to elites or bosses, which can be frustrating if the enemy doesn't attack you when you ult. Linksha. Her only immediate off-field healing is from her Funyun action advance from her talent, which has a 2-turn cooldown, so without it you could be pretty screwed. Fei Zhao. Bolt Sundering Blitz should have better damage multipliers than War Axe Skyward. Breaking the enemy's weakness should be more rewarding. Rappa. Break effect unit but has no weakness implant. Foog. Her enhanced basic attack has no bonus toughness reduction, so it doesn't hit hard and isn't good at breaking enemies. Sunday. I hate Sunday, but this character is almost goddamn perfect. The only thing I can think of is the 50 damage increase is locked behind whether or not you have a summon, but it doesn't matter because he pairs well with both. Aglaya. Sunday's bitch. Her basics generate very little energy, making it impossible to maintain uptime on her ult by herself. The Herda. Can't choose which elite enemy interpretation stacks on from ultimate, which can suck if you want to use your stacks to finish off an elite enemy that's about to CC your team. Mighty. Can only taunt 3 enemies with ult, even though he wants all enemies attacking him to fill his talent. Tribi. Same technique as Ronmei, but they separated her energy from her technique into a trace instead of making it into something else. Anaxa. Implies all those weaknesses yet has nothing to do with break effect. Casterus. At base, it is impossible to get the max stacks of where the West Wind dwells. Cypher. Doesn't tally true damage, potentially destroying any synergy she might have with future DPS units. Hyacinth. She's a great healer, but what really irks me is that when Aoife takes a turn, she doesn't heal at all. Archer. He cannot proc his own talent's follow-up attack, make him reliant on his own team's actions than his own. Saber. Don't be fooled. Her core resonance mechanic is not enough to support her energy needs. She still needs energy recharge units. I just wish her team comps for more of characters who can spam their ultimates than those who can give her energy. Seems like there's no point. Finon. Has an ultimate that doesn't require energy, but still needs units that give energy to charge his ultimate quickly. Hycillans. She just came out, so I got nothing for her. If there's any dot mains here, let me know in the comments what you think is wrong with her, because I got nothing. Sidra. Is not out yet, but I heard she doesn't work well with Archer, so I'm assuming she has an inconsistency issue with her skill buff. Which is dumb, since Archer is almost all skill damage. That's all I have for now. Let me know in the comments what you think is wrong with these characters and what you think I got wrong. Thanks for watching.